Well, what I sent you was a flag that had been given to me by an uncle, and sort of as a, it was almost an afterthought at the end of my visit there. He said he went up in a shelf and he pulled down this flag. I didn't know what it was. He said, and he said, this is just getting moth-eaten, and maybe you'll do something with it. And he gave me this flag, and I looked at it, and I had never seen anything like it before. And I said, well, where did you get this? And he said, oh, I got it off of a flagpole. When I went away to art school, I got a scholarship to an art school in York, Pennsylvania, and I went there, and I was away from home for the first time. And one of my classmates was a Japanese woman who had survived the war. And I thought, well, I'll show her the flag. And I thought, she'll be able to tell me something about this. So I did. And I was really stunned by what she said to me. She said, I think I know this person. And I said, wow. And I didn't really believe that either. But I think what I sort of got from that was that she was trying to tell me that this was a person. This was an individual. This was not any kind of generic flag. This belonged to somebody. And it wasn't really until later, I think, when I had another Japanese friend at school in Philadelphia, when I went to school in Philadelphia, spoke with her, and there was a real, you might say I got guilt-tripped about it in a sense, because, she was really taken back and did not like the idea that I had the flag. I just began to be educated about the flag and all that. And once I did become educated about it, I realized it wasn't really a person. It wasn't mine. It wasn't my flag anymore. How this happened, I'd been attending a Quaker meeting, and a woman there who was a Japanese American woman, I told her the story of having the flag. I told her about the flag, and that somehow maybe I wanted to get it back to the family. She went on a trip out west, and it was somehow just by pure coincidence, she heard about the OBON Society. And she came back and she told me about it. And I looked you up, and that's how the whole thing occurred. So it was just, it was like step after step after step. The Marines would get these flags off of the bodies of the dead Japanese soldiers, and they would sell them to the Navy guys who came in, on the ships and all that stuff. And they, it was like a market thing. It was a market. So that's really how that whole thing came about right there, probably. And I think he was probably correct. I don't think my uncle really ever had any contact with the person whose flag this was, but probably purchased it somewhere from a Marine. That would be my guess about the whole thing. And so that's it. That's pretty much the story right there. But it did make me feel really good to have this experience of giving this flag and actually getting it back to the family. I think that was very, to me, it was an object, an interesting object, a beautiful thing, really, in a way, even though it was damaged. And it looked like it had even had some blood stains on it. So it was like this, it was a very poignant kind of thing to have. And the idea of having this, but having no personal connection to it other than the fact that my uncle probably bought it from a Marine in the Pacific and then gave it to me. There was nothing there, you know, other than that. And I thought, you know, having it go back to the family was, wow. I mean, that must feel quite different on the other end of that whole thing, you know, when the family gets the flag. To see something after 70 some years to come back from the war. I mean, I guess in some respects it's almost like the people they find the bodies of people who have perished 70 years ago and return the bodies. You know, it must feel somewhat like that, you know, just kind of amazing. So I was happy to have that much meaning evolve about this whole thing, rather than just some kind of trophy, some kind of supposed trophy, you know. So yeah, so that's the way I felt about it.